Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope it finds you well. The day after Christmas. Let me kill the audio over there on the other side. Wow, we made it through Christmas. And guess what? I'm here by myself, unsupervised tonight. Apparently, Mr. Haas has forgot what day it is. Lord have mercy, is he gonna get the bless your heart button?
Bless your heart.
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. What's even worse is I tried to call him because he wouldn't answer me on the messenger, so I tried to call him. He gave me the wrong number to his house. Now go figure that one out. Lord, he's in for it. Believe me, he is in for it. He better shape up. He's been soaking in eggnog for a week. Oh, everybody get their shares going. Share this out. Let's get everybody on here because who knows what I'm liable to do by myself here tonight. Man, I hope everybody made it through the holidays in good shape. We got the white 2-pack in the house. Good to have you with us tonight. We got I-19250 in the house. Kilroy, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop in the house. I want you to share this out. Hit that like button. Let's get everybody in here tonight. Let's see how many people we can pack a house with tonight. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Matt's missing in action. We may have to send out the Foreign Legion or something to see if they can sober him up. Shape him up into the house. Him and I Customs in the house. Good to have you with us. Yes, it has been a while. Glad to have you there. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. You changed the name. It was Him and I Woodworking, I think, and now you've changed the name of it. Good to have you in the house. Everybody check out each other's channels. There'll be more people filing in here. So make sure you check out each other's channels. And if you like what you see, hit that red button because that red button's is evil. We don't allow no red buttons around here. And you look at a video, watch a video that they've got, leaving them a nice comment on it, hit their like button for them. Pontos Turismo Bandado. I hope I'm close. If Al was here, he could tell me. I hope I got that pretty close to right. Good to have you in the house tonight. Hope everybody's Christmas was wonderful. This is my favorite day of the year, though, because I like the day after Christmas. It's over. Lord, now we can relax a little bit. Yeah, they changed the name of the channel because of the motorcycle rebuilds and stuff that they're doing on there. Hey, Dave, good to have you. Matt's missing in action. I don't know where he's at. He didn't even bother to check in. You know that means that he's fair game for me now. Not that he wasn't already. But he's left me here unsupervised. Now, in case anybody's new here and you don't know what we do here on this channel, we network. You know, I want everybody to check each other's channels out. If you like what you see, then you hit the red button and you leave a nice comment on their videos and you hit the like button, you know, all the good stuff. You know how that works. You're not new. And then we do interesting facts. We hope they're true. And I give out cowbell rings if you blow my mind with an interesting fact. For instance, I'll give you one. We'll get it started here. The microwave was invented after a researcher walked by a radar tube and the chocolate bar in his pocket melted. Now, who would have figured that would have happened? Lord have mercy. Yeah, Rutro, you're right. He's in big trouble. He's forgot what day it is. I'll guarantee it. And what's worse is I tried to call him. When he wouldn't answer me on the messenger, he's given me the wrong phone number. Now, who does that? Lord, he's in for it. Man, oh man. Joyce McGuire's in the house. Harmel Media's in the house. Mr. Doughboy 356 is in the house. I tell you, Mr. Doughboy, he's going to wish he did by the time I'm through with him. He's going to be hurting for certain. Man, couldn't even tell me he wouldn't be here. It better be something serious, is all I got to say for him. It'll be serious when I get through with him. I got so busy polishing them shiny new Hooters he got for Christmas, he can't remember to come to the show. It's beginning to look a lot like New Year around here. We got less than a week, 6 days, 5 days now until New Year's. Yeah, Joyce is laughing. She knows. Yeah. I'm going to hurt him. Leave me unsupervised. Man, I'll tell you what. Me and Pup in the Cup, we're going to get him. He has not even met my new co-host. I'm replacing Matt with this one. This is the monkey. Even a monkey can do Matt's job. My goodness gracious. Oh, he won't know better than to leave me unsupervised again. Don't think he won't. Man. Be sure to share it out. Let's get everybody in here. We got 7 watching. We got 6 thumbs up now. Come on. Hit that thumb. The more the merrier. Anybody got any interesting facts and stuff for me tonight? No, says maybe they're lopsided, so Matt needs an adjustment. He's going to need an adjustment. He's going to need a serious adjustment when I get through with him. Forget about me tonight. Man, day after Christmas. Try to be nice to some people and see what happens. See, they just forget about you. They go off and leave you unsupervised. Do the live stream all by your lonesome. Now, he was talking about it Monday night, so he remembered it on Monday night. But something between Monday night and now has gone terribly awry that he couldn't even tell me that he wasn't going to be here. So, yep. He's in trouble now. Lord. Did everybody listen to my Christmas poem that I did? I put out 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, the Heifer Haven version. Did y'all like that? Yeah, don't make Brenda release her inner heifer. He gonna think the heifer's done kicked him through the side of the barn. Tom Spillane's in the house, and JD97 is in the house. Good to have both of you with us this evening. The more the merrier. Get all your friends in here. Post it everywhere. I even go up to truck stop and write it on the bathroom wall. You can get everybody in here that you can get in here. Mr. Doughboy said, I'd come on with you, but I'm indecent. Well, hey, so am I most of the time. Just ask anybody. Hey, Kilroy, I'm here unsupervised tonight. There ain't nobody watching me tonight. I'm on my own. I'd ask you if I'd known he wasn't coming. Do you want to come in? I can drop you the link. Just tell me and I'll drop you the link if you want to come in here and, take over. Oh, Leonard Davis is in the house. Merry Christmas, Brenda. Merry Christmas, Matt. Matt ain't here. I don't know where he's at. He didn't show. He didn't even tell me he wasn't going to show. I don't know. So, hopefully it ain't nothing serious, but if it ain't nothing serious, it will be when I'm through with him. Get your get well cards out ready. Either way, he's going to need them. We're going to cover the base right there. Oh, this is the first time he's ever pulled stunt like this. Oh, okay. Kilroy's busy. That's Al. He's busy. He's finishing up before it gets dark. Trying to make a squirrel door for the attic. Only one way out. Yep. That I tell you what. Squirrels around here are horrible. I've declared war on the squirrels. And this year I'm going to change my tactics up and I'm just going to get the lethal trap. I've tried everything to run them off. I've tried trapping them and relocating them. And it doesn't matter. If you remove one, then 3 more take its place. This place is just ate up with squirrels over here. And people are feeding them. Because there ain't no walnut trees around in this neighborhood. So somebody is throwing them walnuts because the walnuts are showing up. The hulls are showing up in my yard. So somebody's encouraging this. Let's see. Somebody just dropped me a message over here. Let's see. Nope, that wasn't him. I was going to see if he was telling me that he had some horrible technical difficulty, that his house blew up or burnt down, or oh, I don't know what's become of him. He's hog-tied to a merry-go-round. He'll be hog-tied to more than a merry-go-round when I get through with him. I'm going to hog-tie him to a spit. Well, yeah, I took them far out of town, many, many miles away, and then more of them just keep taking their place. And I've had to trim back all the trees to keep any limbs, because they would jump. You never seen anything jump in your life like them doggone squirrels. They'll leap like 8-10 feet from the tree over to the house to get on the roof. And so I had to have all the limbs trimmed back to keep the squirrels off the house. Joyce says her computer has been down for a month. Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take that. I got to have my computers running. At least one. I've got two. I've got a desktop and a laptop. And then I got this new phone that I hardly know how to use. I can find a few things on it when I really set my mind to it, but it's way smarter than I am. That's what I was worried about, getting a smartphone. It's smarter than me. So did everybody get what they wanted for Christmas? Mr. Doughboy has sugar gliders. They can leap 35 feet from 8 feet in the air. Yeah, a friend of mine has sugar gliders. I took care of one of them for him when he went to the hospital to have a operation on his back. And so it was here for several months while he was in recovery. And those things, they'll fly around the house. But they're pretty easy caught. They like their little hammock thing that they sleep in. And if you just hang that up someplace, they'll get in it and then you can retrieve them. Yeah, I bet it was driving you crazy, Joyce, to be at your computer. I bet it drove Becky nuts too, because she likes to get on the internet and pole dance. Frankie CNC and Woodworking Channel says he didn't get anything for Christmas. Well, I got one thing for Christmas. A friend of mine and I, we exchange gifts every year. I send her something. She sends me something. And I showed last week, she sent me that $50 Amazon gift card. And so that was my Christmas. And it's spent. It don't take long for it to go, does it? But that was my Christmas. Me and the dogs just sit here. I did a little cooking. I don't do a whole lot of cooking generally, but for Christmas, I'll break down and cook some. I baked a ham, and I got some of my green beans that I'd put up from the garden, and I put some ham in them to season them up good. So I had baked ham, and I had green beans, and I had bread pudding that I made, and I made some homemade cranberry juice out of fresh cranberries. And I made a batch of cookies with chocolate chips that had M&Ms in them. So that was my feast for Thanksgiving. Made a nice big salad to go with that. And so that was my fancy meal for Thanksgiving. I'm off my diet until after first of the year. Once we get through New Year's, then I'll be going back on the diet again. But I didn't go on the diet to punish myself. I went on the diet to try to get healthy. So I wanted to get through the holidays here without having to worry about the diet and, everything that I put in my mouth. I want to be able to enjoy eating and, for the holiday. And then once the holiday's over, I'm going back on it. Frankie says, I baked a ham and my wife and mother-in-law finished cooking and I spent the day in the shop. Well, that's a nice relaxing day. Nothing wrong with that. Other than the Christmas meal, I pretty much slept through the whole holiday. Me and the dogs just kind of piled up and slept. The weather here has been fantastic. I couldn't have asked for better weather. I'm not a winter person. I was born in the wrong climate. I'm in eastern Indiana, and the weather here has been absolutely phenomenal. It has been in the 60s the last 2 days. Don't have to put a coat on to go outside if you're just, running out. If you're going to be out for any length, you're going to have a sweater, jacket, or something. But yeah, It's been pretty decent bunch of weather. I'm sure we're going to be paying for it soon. I've been watching the extended forecast, and I think in about a week it's going to start getting back down in the 20s again. But boy, it sure has been pretty the last couple days. Jim Dockrell says he's late. He was watching the Mandalorian. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Mandalorian. I'm sounding it out. That's what it looks like to me. I've never heard of it. Is it good? Whatever it is. Joy says it's been raining and cold where she's at. Yeah, if it would stay like this for the rest of the winter and then warm up in the spring, I don't want much. Oh, okay. It's a Star Wars, part of the Star Wars TV series, I guess. Okay. I heard that new Star Wars movie really is bad. I've heard several people say that now. So I don't know. If you're thinking about going to see it, you might want to rethink that and wait for it to come out on disc or something. Jim Dockrell says that up in Canada, it is foggy and warm where he is. Pete's Little Homestead is in the house. Good to have you in here tonight. Beautiful weather in Kentucky as well. Yeah, you're not that terrible far south of me. Northern Kentucky is only maybe 2 hours from where I'm at. Yep, Jim Dockrell says he spent some time in the shop. Yep, I probably should have, but I've just been enjoying the weather. Me and the dog's been outside, letting them run and rip and burn off some energy because they kind of pent up in here when it's really cold. And they needed to get out and get some exercise, so I've been out with them, and that's been our claim to fame the last couple of days when I haven't been sleeping. Christmas for me is a time to get my rest. Carry on, Jeff and John just came in. Boy, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm glad you came to show your love. Love back to you. Now, them fellers can cook. If you want to watch some good cooking going on, you go over there and watch some of the stuff on their channel. They'll show you how it's done. I can't watch their channel without my mouth watering. Now, I'm about to start dieting. You need to do some diet recipes over there on your channel. Cook up some food. Say, if you eat this, you'll be losing weight when you eat it. That's the kind of food I'm going to need for the next few months. Stuff that when I eat it, I lose weight. Jim Dockrell says he's a lousy cook, unlike the rest of his family. Well, at least you married into people that could cook. Know your weaknesses and build to them. You know, if you can't cook, then you marry somebody that can cook good. Oh, gee. Got other stuff popping up over here on my other screen. Let me take care of that and get that down off of there. All right. Get it back to where I can see what's going on. It says the wife does pretty good at cooking. Well, that's good. That way you won't starve to death. Yeah, it's pitiful when two people that can't cook get together. They're going to be eating out all the time or something. Okay, he says he'll be doing some diet recipes. His recipes are healthy. He can't stand greasy food. Well, I can't be eating greasy stuff on a diet, so that's good. But yeah, it's got to be something low-cal and healthy for you. And you eat this, you'll lose weight kind of recipes. Oh, he says that her cooking ain't spicy enough. Well, then you'd be really upset with me because I cannot tolerate spicy food. I like it flavorful, not spicy. There's a difference. I don't want bland food. I want to be able to taste some flavor to it, but I can't take the heat. I don't want a lot of heat and peppers and that kind of thing in my food. Oh, Frankie says he's been wanting some sweet potato pie. I got some frozen sweet potatoes in the freezer that I put up for sweet potato pie, but I haven't made any. I've also got some blackberries. I was eyeballing them blackberries the other day. I've got some beautiful, beautiful blackberries. I want to make a cobbler out of them. But right now I've got that bread pudding in there. Now, this bread pudding is not just a regular bread pudding. It's a butterscotch bread pudding. And what I used is butterscotch flavored cremora. They say that you can cook with it, and they was right. Because I thought, man, I don't know. I may be wasting all these ingredients. I turn this thing out, and it's awful. But no, it is good. It is very good. So, just so you know, they make that cremora in all kinds of flavors now. I've seen the strawberry cheesecake and this butterscotch. So you can get it in all kinds of flavors. You can make bread pudding with it, and it's good. Let's see here. What else we got? Everybody saying in the chat. We got Jim Docker saying New Year's time for big change in diet, better food, get a handle on the smoking. Well, I quit smoking in 2008. Haven't picked them up since. Went cold turkey. And I was a 2+ pack a day smoker. I put them things down and never picked them back up. So if I can do it, you can do it. Put them down. It's rough the first few weeks, because you want one. You're reaching for them. You'll find yourself digging through stuff looking for one. And then you'll realize what you're doing. And you just grab yourself by the bootstraps and say, now listen, I have more control than this. And you just put them down. Yeah, Pete's Little Homestead said, that sounds good, Al. That butterscotch bread pudding, it's some good stuff. It's rich, so you just a little piece of it's all you want. Put a little whipped cream on that. Oh, mercy. Make a puppy pull a freight train. And Frankie said he'd settle for some bean pie. What's a bean pie? I've never heard of that. Jeff and John says, love bread and butter pudding. You have given me a recipe to do, not done one in a while. It's very simple. Very simple. Loaf of bread and just pull it into like 1-inch pieces in a big bowl. And then you take, let's say it was 1 big bottle of the butterscotch cremora, a cup of sugar, and I put some vanilla, and I put some cinnamon, and I didn't measure any of it. It was just, to my liking. So whatever you like in that, and 5 eggs, and you beat that up. That's your custard. And then you pour that over the bread, and you let that sit at least 15 minutes so it soaks in good. While that's going on, you take you heat your oven to 350 degree Fahrenheit, and you grease your 9x13 pan with a little butter. Then once your bread's soaked up all that custard that you poured over it, you put that in the pan, slap it in the oven, and I cooked it for 35 minutes. You want to watch it. You just want it brown on the top, golden brown. Stick a knife in it like you would a cake to make sure it's done in the middle. And there you go. I let it cool down a little bit. You don't want it smoking hot when you take it out of the oven. But let it cool down some, or you can let it cool all the way. And then I always heat mine up a little bit in the microwave once it's cold. And then put your whipped cream on that. Oh, good stuff. Jim Dockrell says he has other uses for whipped cream. I bet you do. Jim said he quit smoking for 3 years, then started again. Well, see, that's your problem. You started again. You don't want to do that. And Jeff says that on Sunday night we're having a turkey curry because I don't want to waste any leftovers. I baked that ham. There wasn't no leftovers. By the time I made some sandwiches with that, and then I put some of it in the beans, and ate some of it. And mashed potatoes, and I put some of it. I make hash browns, and I put a little ham in the hash browns, and I'll even take some of the ham and dice it up to put it on my chef salads. And it's about gone. What's left of it is probably going to go in the freezer, and then next year when I have green beans come out of the garden, I can cook them with the bone and the drippings from the ham to flavor them up good. So, nothing goes to waste. Jeff says that his wife Linda says that smoke comes out of his rear end. Well, do they make anything you can take for that? I've not heard of that happening. That's some exhaust you got going. Jeff and John says, nice with sultana and brandy. Now there's a thought. Frankie CNC says, I'll send you a link on Facebook what bean pie is. It's pretty good. A lot of folks don't like it, but it's got to be made right. Well, that's like a lot of other things. Some people don't like green fried tomatoes, but they ain't had them made right. You got to know how to cook them. Chris Nealon's in the house. He turned YouTube on to get away from food, and here we are talking about food. Well, it's that time of year. Hey, Shelly's in the house. Minnie on a mission. That's Shelly Cole. Well, greetings to you. I hope you had a nice holiday. Matt's missing in action tonight. Nobody knows where he's at. So, if you find out where he's at, let me know first. I get first dibs at him. Jeff says he got a Bob and Sander for Christmas. What did I get? I got a $50 Amazon gift card that I spent. Doesn't take long for that to go. Chris Nealon says his wife made nachos with their ham. I had not thought about that. But yeah, that'd be pretty good. Portal Woodworks, that's David. Glad to have David in the house tonight. Good to see you. And Jeff and John says, check our savory leftover Christmas muffins. I will do that. I will check that out. Jim Dockrell says there's a guy walking past an insane asylum with a wheelbarrow of manure, and one of the inmates asks, where are you going with the manure? And he says, I'm going to put it on my rhubarb. Yeah. That's what you do. A lot of people don't understand that, but that's how you fertilize the ground. That's how you get good fertile ground for raising your crops. Oh, you're there. I see you're there now. Why are you not here? Oh, maybe you are. You can't. There you are. Yeah, there you are.
Hello, hello. Did you start the show without me, Brenda?
Certainly did. I tried to find you, and I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, dear.
I tried to call you.
You did?
And you gave me the wrong number.
Oh, well, I'll have to correct that.
I bet you will.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late, Brenda.
Yeah, I tried to get you on Messenger. You wouldn't answer me. So I thought, well, I'll just call him and see what's going on. And I got this thing that said, press 1 for English.
Oh, that's the other phone. I'll give you my direct number. That's a different line.
Oh, you wouldn't give me your direct number. I see. I don't rate high enough to get the direct number. I don't know how
you got that other number, but I'll give you the direct number. And if you call before 9:30, it'll ring through. Because I silenced my phone. But yeah, no, I fell asleep.
Oh, it's a shame I wasn't there with you asleep.
I laid down to rest my eyes, and then I woke up, and I'm like, oh, let me scroll through the phone. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm gonna get a whooping.
Yep. I owed you one of these anyway.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
And now you get another one.
Bless your heart.
And I bet you ain't liked the show yet.
Bless your heart.
Click. Oh.
If I'd been there with you sleeping, I'd have had a pan of warm water.
Oh my goodness. I apologize. It was not intentional. I was running around today, day after Christmas, lots to do. And it just kind of got away from me. I did get a mat with 3 exclamation marks and a smiley face from Minnie on a mission in the chat room. So that's it.
Let's see. We got some new ones come in here. Ray the Gamer's in the house. Good to have you with us this evening. Salvador Vince Guerrera is in the house. And if you like music, he is a music teacher. And
do like music. See, look.
he has
I have
great
music.
stuff. He has great stuff down there on his channel. You might want to watch some of that. I think it's high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to him. That's cool.
That he teaches.
Oh,
And
that could be relentless. Do you like doing that, Salvador? Salvatore, I hear that can be a super rewarding experience or not. Put it that way.
Pete's Little Homestead is in the house. Good to have you with us. We've been talking food, Matt. What you been
I
eating?
love food. You know my favorite food, tacos.
Well, we've been talking about what people had for Christmas. I baked a ham, and some of them baked ham. Some of them's got turkey. Let's see. Jeff Robinson said, we had Christmas dinner this year with lasagna, Olive Garden breadsticks, and a good salad.
On Christmas Day, we cook steaks on the grill. So we get filet mignon and we cook fillets on the grill, which is sort of a unique Haas tradition. But Christmas Eve, it's all sort of buffet style, serve yourself, because we're too busy drinking and gambling Christmas Eve.
I did T-bone for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yum. Yep. That's part filet, part New York strip steak with the bone in the middle. Love it. T-bone
is my favorite cut of meat. They're hard to get anymore.
They really are, because they're sort of a pain in the butt to consume and cook. And the bone, I think, kind of now puts people off, which I really shouldn't. But
no, the bone's the most flavorful part of the whole thing.
You don't eat the bone.
Well, you chew on it, though, after it's over with.
I'm an animal.
That's right. That's the most flavorful part of the whole thing. If you don't
we
chew
had
on the
those
bone.
at the rest. I worked at a restaurant when I was 17, 18, and 19. And it was called Mr. Steak. Now, they don't have them anymore. It was a small franchise, or it was part of a bigger umbrella corporation, and that was a couple that they had. It was fun. Steak, chicken, seafood, and ribs. I can cook them all day long. It's exactly the way you like. I'm good at that. Now, baking, on the other hand, I can't quite do that, but I can work a grill like in an oven like nobody's business.
I was looking at some of the other things they're saying here in the chat. Jim Dockrell wants to know, Matt, can Matt play all 3 versions of Jingle Bells like Linus on Charlie Brown Christmas?
I can play this version of Jingle Bells. It does say Jingle Bells.
Yes, it does.
But no, I can't do the 3 versions from this. Jingle Bells is sort of off the charts because it's got 4 measures before the song even kicks in. It's like Jingle Bells. Just get right to it.
Let's see. Chris Nealon says that he made ham and a wonderful shrimp scampi.
Oh,
that sounds good.
Yeah, shrimp. I'll have to add that to our list. That's delicious.
And Jim Dockrell says he's hoping to do some ribs on the grill on New Year's Day. And Salvador wants to know, where do you get your T-bones? Well, we have a meat market here in town. And on occasion, they have them. Sometimes I have to call ahead because they love to make those into the filet mignons.
Yeah,
I
think you would have to get half a cow around here and then order it the way you want it.
Well, if you know a meat market where they are actually cutting their own meat, sometimes you can order ahead. And once in a while, they'll have a few in the case. But yeah, that's my favorite cut of meat right there. Now they're expensive, it's you ain't buying hamburger.
Kilroy. Oh, yeah. Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shops here. And we have a $5 super chat from Portal Woodworks.
Yeah, thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. Happy Boxing Day, he says. Yep. Up in Canada, they're celebrating Boxing Day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
Did the day after Christmas dance.
We survived Christmas.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier, this is my favorite day of year. It's the day after Christmas. It's over with.
Things go back to normal. Yeah.
Well, see, my celebration is not like everybody else's because I don't have family and there's no place to go and all the stores are closed and pretty much what is on TV sucks. So it's play with the dogs and sleep. that's my celebration. Maybe cook a little bit, and I did my cooking Saturday, so I have plenty to eat, throughout the week. So, yeah. And so once it's over, I'm like, yay, we can get back to some semblance of whatever the hell is normal.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah. I feel you. When things are out of the routine, it's uncomfortable for me because I've built my life that I love my life. And then you go to do something special or out of the ordinary, and it's out of the routine, and it gets hard. So people have trouble kind of wrapping their heads around that. They're like, why'd you bring your laptop? I'm like, because my life is awesome. I didn't want it to stop. I like being here. But no, day after Christmas, I'll take it.
WrestleMania came in the house. We'll say hey to them. Good to have you here. Check out all the other channels. Hit that like button. Share,
we got
share,
a pretty
share.
full house here, isn't this?
Yes,
awesome?
We do. I've been sending out the SOS, getting everybody out here, and I've been telling them look for him. And when you find him, you let me know where he is first.
Yeah, when I was halfway in here before you accepted me, I heard the threats. So the bounty is now off. Everyone failed. I'm here,
but I'm not through getting even.
I think we're square on that one. What you put me through. Come on.
WrestlerMania says today we actually had our Christmas meal due to some of our family working yesterday. Had the turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy thing going.
Nice. Portal says his kids will be around the 12th, so that's when they're doing the celebration. Okay. Yeah. No wrong way to do it.
That's right. Whenever it's convenient, that's when you do it.
We do it different here at our house. Like I said, we play cards and enjoy cocktails on Christmas Eve until we practically fall over from exhaustion.
When my stepson was real little, before he'd come to live with us, he could only come to visit in the summer. That was, part of it. He lived in California, and coming to the Midwest was the only time that he was available to visit was in the summertime. So what we used to do is we would have Christmas in July.
A lot of things have Christmas in July, especially baseball, because baseball's, 6 months out of the year. They have to cram in all of the holidays. And an easy one for them to do is Christmas in July because they play baseball in July.
Yeah, we'd put up the tree to do everything just like you would do at Christmas time, but it was in July, we'd be short sleeves. Of course, the last couple of days, it's been almost short sleeves here. We've been 60-degree weather. It's been beautiful.
And it's easier for family to get here when it's not snowing. Not that they have to come far, but still, some families getting old. See Al Forte from Kilroy's Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. He says, much better rating with Matt than with that other guy. He's referring to himself because Al has been gracious and filled in on a few times when I knew I wasn't going to be here.
Yeah, he couldn't make it tonight. I asked him, after I started the show all by myself and unsupervised, I asked him if he wanted to come, and he said that he had something he had to get done for dark, so he wouldn't be able to make it. But now Shelly knows. Shelly's right there to tell you. She says, when Brenda gets even, she gets out more cowbell.
Portal Woodwork says he had to do a delivery to a custom piano bar in North Carolina on Christmas Eve. Isn't that cool? Jim Dockrell, watch it, Jim. We got the 30-second timeout ability here. It wouldn't be a Mind Equals Blown without Jim Dockrell in the chat causing trouble.
Well, it could be that's what's making you, want to sleep more, and you just go to sleep and forget about the show, and
it could be a cajillion things. Why does it get so dark this time of year? Why does the Earth have to be on an axis? And we have these things called seasons. But now each day it's a minute and a little bit more of light each day until the 21st of June, which is good.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, Jim, he's still at it. Look at him go. Look at him go in that chat. Come on.
Ah.
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it, Al. Life is hard enough. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, now next week we've got New Year's staring at us.
Okay. Yeah, let's look at that. So Thursday is the 2nd.
Yep.
So this is the we've had a hangover yesterday show.
That's why I put up the background with the fireworks.
Yeah, I dig it.
'cause celebrating New Year's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The nice thing, big difference between New Year's and 4th of July. 4th of July, they celebrate for the week before and the week after.
Don't I know it?
There's like never ending freaking fireworks, and my dogs are scared to death. And
at my old location of the house, the neighbors caught their tree on fire.
Yeah.
Because they were just there was a battle like across the neighborhood. There was home brewed fireworks, and then not home brew, but like fireworks that were so large you should not have had them type of people. Yeah. Lady B Slots is here. Hello.
Hey, good to see you. But now on New Year's Eve here at midnight, you're going to hear it go off maybe for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And that's it. It's over. It's done.
Okay.
And, you know, my dogs, while they don't like it and they get upset about it, they don't make themselves sick because it's not going on constant day in and day out.
I see.
So that's the big difference. Now, if they do the same thing at 4th of July, where, okay, 4th of July, midnight, you go out and you shoot off a few fireworks and then it's over and you go home, go to bed.
Exactly. You watch the ball drop, you freak out for a little bit, and you go indoors and then you really crank it up.
Go kiss the one you love, your dog, your cat, whatever.
But no, you're right. On Independence Day, it's a whole week of boom, 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 boom. And it just kind of meanders on for hours and hours, and it'll do it, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
And they set off those M80s.
Oh.
That rocks my house when they do that. You actually feel the house shaking.
That is like construction grade stuff. That should not be allowed. The one time my buddy threw up a lit quarter stick of dynamite, which is really what an M80 is. Mm-hmm. And as it was coming down right at ear level, it went off at ear level. So it was like maximum shockwave. Everyone kind of blew backwards. That's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Shelley says at our house, we get to keep celebrating due to Hanukkah. We are making up some potato lattes. Latkes, okay. Yeah. And strawberry cheese blintzes right now.
Yummy.
Now, the blintzes, they're like crepes, right? Do you know?
We'll give her a minute. I'm not sure about what those are.
Because I was just thinking this afternoon that, man, I'd really like to have some crepes. I've got some nice fruit out there in the kitchen. There's some strawberries and there's some blackberries, and I've got some whipped cream. And I'm thinking I could make some killer crepes.
Yeah.
So in the next few days here, because see, I'm not back on the diet until after New Year.
Oh, gotcha.
So I can enjoy my food.
There was a prospective employee at the local public school, and she was going to be a French teacher, and she brought in crepes as part of her interview. So she buttered up the panel with free crepes, and she got the job.
Yeah, Shelley said yes. It's like a crepe.
Got it.
Right.
Portal says they have time limits for fireworks in Georgia. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
Well, they're supposed to have a cut off here. And I think it's like by 1 o'clock you're supposed to be done with them. I've heard them going off at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of these folks get liquored up and they don't pay no attention to what the clock says. They're just going to do whatever they want to do. And man, that's rough on pets.
Oh, I know it. And Handy Dandy Crafts is here. Says, "Yay! I caught your live stream. I love your humor and everything."
Oh, well, bless your heart. Thank you very much.
Look at the channel icon. It's a little parrot, or perhaps a cockatiel. I can't quite tell. It's pretty
No,
small.
that looks like a parrot.
Okay, nice. Parrots are awesome. Yeah, my brother owned a parrot for a while, and you own a cockatiel.
I have a cockatiel. I used to have a parrot, and I've had all kinds of birds over the years. But yeah, I had a
Oh, it's a
African
lovebird.
gray.
Handy Dandy Crafts says lovebird. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I had a pair of lovebirds, and I've had finch, and I've had parakeets and doves. I loved my doves. I had probably 100 or more at one time. I used to raise them for all the different colors,
Oh wow.
and I had a lot
100,
of
that's a whole business.
I had a lot of magicians that would come and get doves from me for their acts.
Got it. Wow. I guess I got to get them from somewhere.
Yep. And they preferred white, but if I didn't have enough of the white ones, as long as I had enough of one particular color, because of them switching them out in their acts. They had to be the same color.
Sure. Jim Dockrell says, "When doves cry?" ? That's
it's the most beautiful, relaxing sound.
Well, that's a song by Prince. When doves cry. Yeah.
But when you come home from work and you're just exhausted, you're so tired.
Sorry, Portal Woodworks is doing it right here, people. He says, "I've smashed 2 red buttons tonight." That's what this show's about.
Good.
Awesome, Portal. Thank you, David.
But yeah, you come home from work, you're stressed from driving, because I would drive for hours with my job. And all day. I might leave the house at 3 o'clock in the morning, not get home till 7 o'clock or so at night. And all day long, I just made stops and drive, and getting in that rush hour traffic and everything. By the time you got home, it was like fingernails on the chalkboard. And sit down and listen to those doves.
They go, oh, like that.
They coo, and it wasn't just one. You'd have.
Chris Nealon's got to go. Hi, Chris. Bye, Chris. Thanks for stopping.
Glad you came in, Chris. Good to see you. And you'd sit down and listen to that, and it was just like all the stress would just melt off of you. And it wouldn't be just one dove. You'd have a whole room full of them.
Wow.
It was beautiful. And I got so busy with my job that it was difficult to take care of everything. So yeah, I had to cut back and said goodbye to the doves. But that was beautiful.
Birds are the best for helping you relax, says Handy Dandy Crafts. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I had a cockatiel. No, I had parakeets. My brother had a parrot, and it flew away. Yeah. Well, the wings were clipped, and he had it out in the woods, and we were out there with it. But I guess they were clipped to the point where it still could fly. He didn't think it could fly. I guess it grew back a couple. Then
they'll grow back. You got to keep them clipped.
Yeah, and it never came back. And we looked and we looked, and we had people. We had like a whole army of our friends kind of looking for this green parrot that was out in the woods, and never found it.
I saw one day. I was on my way to a swap meet. I was over on the other side of Dayton, Ohio, on 35, and I pull up to a traffic light, and there is a green parrot sitting on the telephone wires.
What? Yeah. Okay.
And so it got away from somebody, but yeah, the green parrot sitting up there on the telephone wires. And I don't know, I guess, I noticed that because I'm always watching for like hawks and stuff like that. You see a lot of that up on phone poles and wires. Once in a while, I'll see an eagle. But, I thought, what is the green parrot doing up on the telephone wire? This is the Midwest, we're not.
Maybe they're migrating from South America. No. Oh my goodness. No, they're awesome birds. Very personable, but the mindset is that of a child. Like even an adult bird, it acts like a 2-year-old person. as far as its personality, and kind of keeps that mentality all throughout their life. So if you like human kids, you might love adult parrots.
Salvatore says, wow, an eagle is rare. In Indiana, they're coming back. We've got a lot of eagles in Indiana, so it's not totally unlikely to see an eagle if you're watching for them. If you go to the wildlife refuge, there's one about, I'm going to say about 20 miles or so north of me up here. They build nests in the trees up there, and people actually go up there with their binoculars and stuff to watch the eagles. So
look what Jim Dockrell said. He says, he brought a neighbor in for LASIK eye surgery, had the eye patch on one eye, and it told him he's only an amputation and a parrot away from being a pirate. Boom, boom,
yep.
Rim shot. Bald eagles around here, says Jim Dockrell. Okay. I see those videos of Alaska with the pulling into port with the fish, and there's more bald eagles than you can count. They're everywhere.
They're bringing buffalo back to Indiana.
Good.
I put a thing up there on YouTube about it last night. They've got wildlife refuge or nature center, I guess it's called, up at Kankakee, and they brought some in last year, and then some of them had calves, and then they brought more in this year, and they've got 43 now buffalo going up there. Wow. Yeah, they're bringing buffalo back to Indiana.
Well, I mean, that's like an American thing. They were everywhere in this country. Buffalo, so many buffalo you couldn't see the ground.
Yeah, Salvatore says the meat is supposed to be very good. It is very good. I have had buffalo. There's a restaurant over in Ohio. I haven't been there in a long time, but there's a restaurant over there that I like to go to that they serve all kinds of exotic meats, elk and buffalo and rattlesnake and all kinds of stuff over there.
Well, the one burrito place used to have buffalo as one of the fillings, but then they switched it out to meat. That was recent. That was only like last year they did that. Handy Dandy Crafts says we have a lot of beagles as well, so I couldn't take my birds out. They'd get eaten because they are birds of prey.
Yep.
Eagles are birds of prey. Yep.
Yep. And Jim Dockrell says that they can't let their dog out by herself. She's only 11 pounds. An eagle take her, or the coyotes. Yeah.
And my dog was 11, and now she's pushing 20. So, yeah, we think she's safe.
When I was on the farm, we had a lot of problem with hawk. You had to watch your chickens, and I kept my aviaries where my chickens and my peacocks and guineas and all that stuff were. I would keep all of them netted, because you could buy this. It looks like fishnet.
Does it look like a war zone from above? Like, you're putting the camouflage netting on?
Well, and we always had the helicopters flying over, because they wanted to know what was underneath the netting. And I thought, well, just pull in here and ask me. I'll take you out to see my birds. I mean, what?
Jeez Louise.
But yeah, you had to keep stuff netted, or you'd have some kind of a problem with the hawks carrying your stuff off.
Oh my goodness. Handy Dandy Craft says buffalo can scare the heck out of you. I got one that put his nose right up in my face. Spooky.
Yeah. And they're huge. They are absolutely huge.
Monster, like elephant practically.
Over on the west side of Indiana, there is a buffalo farm over there where they raise the buffalo for meat and hides and horns and everything that a buffalo produces. And you go over there and look at those buffalo. They are massive.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, no, they're big, and they're dumb too. They're stupid animals.
Yeah, but don't underestimate them. They will hurt you in a hurry. Works hard for MK3 is in the house. Good to have you with us this evening.
Good to see you back. Works hard for MK3.
She's been shopping. She had some video up. I haven't seen it yet, but she has something up about shopping.
Okay, cool.
West Haven, always and forever, is in the house. She shared it on her community tab. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. We love that. Look at all the pretty Christmas emojis and holiday emojis. We like that too.
Happy New Year to everybody. Because we'll not have another live stream until the 2nd of January. So happy New Year to everybody. West Haven is over in Connecticut.
All right. I wonder how cold it is in Connecticut today. It's 42 where I'm at in Pennsylvania.
It's been in the 60s today. I'm not sure what it is right now here.
It got up to 50 something here. Yeah.
It was beautiful. The dogs were so happy to be out the last couple of days, where they could run and play and enjoy it without freezing to death.
Yeah, I bundled up and I'm like, oh, I'm well overdressed. You need fewer layers.
It's currently 56 degrees here. I mean, that's like summertime.
Yeah.
I was telling everybody before you got here that if it would stay this way until
25 in
spring,
Connecticut. Okay, that's not too bad, I don't think.
if it would stay this way till spring and then warm up, I'd be very happy. I don't want much.
Now, my Florida friends, they're like, oh, it's 90 today. Going, oh, it's going to dip down into the 80s. I'm like, oh.
A friend of mine was
Ice Rose is here, and Farmall just did a $1 super chat. Thank
you, Farmall. I appreciate that.
No, excuse me. It was a super sticker.
Farmall won the gaming headset last week on the show, and I caught him on his live stream the other night, and he said he had received it, had not opened it yet, but he had received it. So I know that got there okay. I hope all the people that won last week.
I was fortunate enough to get some magnets, and they did arrive. Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I hope everybody got everything that they're supposed to get, because when you take it to the post office, they said, now they should get it. It says here that they should get it by Christmas Eve, but we can't guarantee that.
Yeah. I think you were safe. They were working hard at the post office, I'm sure.
Well, I was up at the post office this morning. It was a ghost town up there. It was so funny because, the week before Christmas, it's standing room only to get in the post office. And so I go up there. There's nobody there. It's just me.
Yay.
I was able to get in and get out.
I went to the post office to drop a letter in the mail slot and to pick up my P.O. Box mail. No waiting. Well, I got some evil stares because there was a line. Hey, Portal is now up to 4 red buttons smashed. He was good 2 earlier. Thank you, Portal Woodworks. You're doing it right here on Mind Equals Blown.
That's good.
If you see a channel that looks interesting, check them out and push a red button.
Yeah, get over there and check out Farmall Fanatic if y'all ain't done that. He's got a good channel over there. He does some networking on his channel, and he also has a lot of farming stuff. If you like farming, I was raised on a farm where we had Farmalls, and so I always enjoy watching his farming videos.
Yeah, Farmall is a brand name.
Yep.
You taught me that. Yep.
International Farmall.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Or iced rose. Why did I say red rose? Is that a Freudian slip?
Maybe,
iced rose is in the house. Good to see you. Welcome.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, some slip in and they kind of fly up the list there fast.
Yeah, I try to keep a pretty good eye on it, and I don't like to miss anybody in the chat. I like to welcome everybody if I can.
Welcome, Iced Rose. Good to have you here. Use the A with 2 Y's. Hey.
Everybody check out each other's channels. There's some new ones in the house tonight. And hit the red buttons for them if you like what they got over there. And leave a like. Check out a video. Leave a comment. Y'all know how this works. Most of you, it's not your first day in the house.
Nope.
You know how it all goes down. But, man, I did have a question for you that I bet nobody's asked you all year.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. You even were doing some marketing around this question you were going to ask me. I'm afraid to ask what the question is.
Well, the question is, would you like to see my monkey?
Can I touch your monkey? There it is.
There's the monkey.
Oh, look, it's grabbing your little finger. Nice.
The monkey says it's going to take your place as co-host if you pull this shenanigan stuff in.
Oh, my goodness. What color is that monkey? That's an odd color for a monkey.
It is a pink monkey, and the monkey makes noises.
That sounded like a choo-choo train. It's Those are not natural monkey sounds. I like it. Thank you for showing me your monkey. Do you want to see my beaver?
Yes, I see your beaver back there. You got your beaver lit up?
I do. He wasn't lit up earlier. If you rewind the show, the light was off like that. I can't have that. All beavers must be very well lit.
Shelly says she likes the firework background that I got going tonight. I tried to find something that would be, flashy and support New Year's Eve coming up.
Frankie CNC and Woodworking Channels here. Yeah, the light that I have him is actually one of those colored. I have it like orange because it brings out the brown. Anyway, I can change the color. I can make it like green. There's now he's green, yellow, pink.
Does your beaver glow in the dark?
Nope, that's why I need a spotlight.
That's the second question ain't nobody asked you this year.
Scrub it up real good till it's glow in the frickin' dark. Comedian used to say that. Andrew Dice Clay. Dice! Anyone got New Year's resolutions? Says Handy Dandy Crafts. I'm gonna pump out more videos on Awesome Wood Things, the channel I'm signed into this show today. That's
well,
resolution. I
don't make New Year's resolutions. When you get as old as I am, you're never too sure you're going to make it a whole year.
Oh my good! Now stop. Stop that talking. Hey, Mr. Doughboy 356 is here. Hello.
Yeah, he's been here.
Okay. He says there's a delinquent. Okay.
Yeah, he was here and you weren't.
Giving me heck. Well
right.
deserved.
That's right. You're going to catch it now. Yeah, there are some really great channels here. Handy Dandy Crafts noticed. Yeah.
Dockrell's resolution is to watch less news. That's some good advice.
Well, it depends on what kind of news you're watching.
I presume he's talking political news. But...
Well, if you're watching mainstream media, yeah, turn that off.
Oh, I get all my news from independent YouTubers.
Yeah.
There's something to be said with someone who can talk and put a web page on the screen at the same time with their image down in the corner.
Yeah.
That's the format. That's the success format on YouTube.
And form a cohesive sentence.
Exactly. Read stuff back without messing up,
That's right.
If you can read and you can write, your ticket to success can basically be made into whatever you want.
Yes. And you have to practice that too. And the reason I'm saying that is a few years ago, I was doing a news channel with another person and I needed to read the news. Now, I have read silently to myself for years, ever since I got out of school, but that's not like reading it out loud.
Exactly.
And I found very quickly that I needed to read out loud to myself and see how it sounded because I was out of practice.
Yeah, recording yourself and watching yourself back. Now, you don't have to publish it to the whole internet, but doing that technique will get you better the fastest because you'll say, "Oh, like you'll realize when you're watching it back, that sounded so perfect in my head." But you didn't quite like the delivery, and then you'll tweak the delivery.
It was choppy. It sounded horrible. And, I even had some people say something. There were some that was too nice to say anything, but I'm thinking, Lord,
you got to start somewhere,
Yeah. I thought, well, okay, I'm out of practice. At least I know how to read. And, I can take it from there. And so I got to practicing, and I just read and read and read and read out loud until I got comfortable with it.
Yep. No.
But
it's a slow process. I was elected, so I did speaking at meetings for 6 years, and then I started YouTube, and it's slow. It is slow. Speaking, reading, and writing. If you can do those three things, man, you've got it good. All the news is over.
Shelly says new series, Heifer News. Did y'all like my Night Before Christmas poem?
Yeah, that was pretty creative. I'll tell you that much.
That's the way Christmas works around here. Visions of Heavers dancing in your head.
Did you ring the cowbell on that? I don't think I remember a cowbell video.
No.
I was ready to turn the volume down, but I never had the chance.
Yeah. I surprised everybody. That was sans cowbell on that
Frankie
vid.
says it was a good poem. Thank you for complimenting Brenda's poem.
Thank you.
Well
Appreciate
worth it.
that.
Yeah, Jim says the news is over sensationalized, no matter the topic, and it's always doom and gloom. That's right, because controversy gets clicks and eyeballs. Bland stuff and good news, that's boring.
And it's slanted. You know, they don't they don't give both sides of the story anymore. It's whatever side they happen to jump on, and that's it.
I agree. It's not a pleasant experience. So don't do it.
Handy Dandy Craft says YouTube channel will show you how you really sound to others. Exactly. And watch your videos back. Preferably before you make them live.
The thing called editing, you should try it.
Because there have been some that I have recorded and I play it back and I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, I have a video on All Things YouTube on how to talk to the camera, and there's 23 tips. 23. Most of these videos are top 10 lists. No, this is 23 things you should do to get better to talk to the camera on All Things YouTube. Go check it out. It's some good stuff. You can always like do the super edits where every pause you just edit out and you kind of skip around as it jumps. That's a technique people do.
Salvatore says editing is hard to do.
It very much is. I think it's the most difficult thing you can do on a computer because a timeline of still images, which is what a video is, it's a whole bunch of still images, 30 of them in a second. Manipulating that over that timeline is just a hard interface item to have, because you have a 2D interface. Your monitor is a rectangle, and there is no perfect system, and they're all difficult.
Yeah,
iMovie is a little bit easier. They're all difficult.
I'm new to editing. My editing was those 1940s videos that I put up, which was a lot simpler than trying to edit a video like this one. Like what we're doing now, or a Heifer Haven or something where I'm actually talking. And, I'm thinking with doing the craft videos, the simplest way, and I've seen many people do it this way, is you film what you're doing. There's no audio. You just film what you're doing. And then you take that to the editor and you edit it down to what you actually want the people to see. And then you voice over.
Yeah, that's a popular technique. They do it in the workshop videos. I have, a wood shop where I build stuff. Same thing. Just cut it, bring it into your video editor, drop the volume down to nothing, edit, and then get the microphone plugged in and do the voiceover. Very popular technique. Yeah. Handy Dandy Craft says editing is definitely a skill set. And look, you're on the perfect platform, YouTube. Watch YouTube videos on how to edit whatever program you're editing in or want to edit in. Plug that into the search bar and start consuming videos. There'll be more than you can handle.
Jim Dockrell says you can only cut that piece of wood once. If you have a bad shot, you have a bad shot. And that's true. Unless you got more than one piece of wood.
I know. I've done everything wrong. Like I've shot stuff out of focus, and you're right. You can't go back.
Well, I've heard plenty of people, even some of the big YouTubers say, as a matter of fact, Casey Neistat had this problem with a video that he did last week where he said, I'm sorry, I thought I filmed it. But when I brought the film to the computer, it wasn't there. I don't know what happened. So
he was at a car race.
Yeah.
And all the pre-show he had. And it wasn't like he brought it into his computer, he deleted it off his camera, and then somehow got deleted off. The camera didn't record it correctly at source. Nothing you could do about that. And the camera was saying record, and he had 15 minutes of static, and then he had 2 minutes of every clip was there, but it was 1 kilobyte each with just, but they had it was a error in the camera and nothing he could have done.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd be trusting that camera anymore.
Oh, well, he goes through them like buys tissue paper. My piano stand, I built an awesome piano stand out of 3/4 inch plywood. I laminated it. I have cherry accents on it. It's amazing. And I filmed the whole thing, brought the footage into the computer, deleted it off the camera, and then it got deleted off the computer. And it has a cool magnet sign on the front of my last name. It's a pretty awesome project. And most of my projects here are smaller crafts, and that's a whole big table. And I had a couple photos that I took and published when I was in the build process, sort of teasing it. Look where I'm at now. Gone. Nothing I can do.
Handy Dandy Craft says, I watch bad YouTube channels, so I feel bitter about my editing skills.
You know what, though? I mean, editing is one part of it. It's a big part, but, you know, you got to have a good topic and expertise and good delivery. And some of that doesn't require editing. So there's a lot of things you can do to be successful and have minimal editing skills.
Handy Dandy Craft says, that happens a lot for multiple reasons. That was my wedding day video, no record, even though it said it was recording.
Oh my gosh. My sister-in-law got married, and the photographer was sort of barking at people. You don't have to take photos. I got photos. And I think the camera lens wasn't all the way clicked on. And every photo was super low res, like it was just a thumbnail blown up.
Oh,
she was livid because this whoever she was, like, you know, she would pose people and then people would try and get in with their camera and she would shush them away. And now all the photos were amateurish, and I think that's what it was. Just the lens wasn't fully seated on the camera. Crazy. Now she ended up not staying married, so now it's a moot point, but still.
Many years ago, I went to a wedding, and it was a friend of the family took the photographs at the wedding, and those turned out great. But then what they did is they got those disposable cameras for the reception. And they put, like, you know, it was a great big long banquet table. So they put 3 or 4 to the table so that anybody could grab the camera at any time and take shots of the people that was at the wedding or the bride and groom or, you know, whoever. And they ended up with just piles and piles of great pictures of the guests at their wedding and the stuff that went on, you know, which will be memories for years and years to come.
That's very popular now, and you get it from all angles because you can't be everywhere. You're a photographer. You're one person. Sometimes you're a team of 2. You're 2 places. There's a lot going on. Now, this is what my friend does when that happens. He goes into the restroom, takes a picture of an empty toilet, uses the toilet, takes a picture of it afterwards, and then flushes the toilet, puts it back on the table.
Well, I've heard of people taking pictures of other things when they go in the restroom too, and, you know.
He doesn't do that, but he does. Like, oh, there's an empty toilet. Oh, now it's not empty. Nasty. My friend Joe's a madman. He's a madman, and he works for the post office, so he's technically can be called that. He's nuts.
So, well, you never said, are you going to make resolutions or? I'm
going to make more YouTube videos on awesome wood things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make my CNC machine. I'm making a handheld overhead carver 4-axis CNC machine, and I have a long list of awesome, like off the charts, awesome projects I'm going to make with that thing. So that's my resolution. Well,
like I say, you know, I'm so old that I just don't make resolutions because, you know, I don't know that I'd be here to fulfill them. But if I was making, you know, going to call it a resolution, I'm going to try to be healthier, by this time next year. I'm going to try to take off some weight
That's
and get
good.
myself a little bit more limber, because getting old, rigor mortis is trying to set in. And I'd like to get so that I could move a little bit better. But that I'm not really going to call that a resolution. That's just a goal that I have in mind to try to get myself straightened up a little bit.
And another like side resolution or a second resolution I have would be, and this is going to sound odd, but it's a technique that's been working for me. It's to say no more often. Because if you've got something you're trying to get to or get more of, a lot of people ask you to do a lot of things, and it can be easy to say yes, but I'm really thinking about things I do, and that can be helpful. So I'm going to try and do that. Unless it's to go somewhere, like an experience. I'm saying yes to all the experiences, but it's like, can you do this or can you do that? And so I'm going to try and make sure I stay focused on what I'm trying to do. While being nice to others. I'm not talking be a jerk, but
I know I have plenty of time to sit and reflect on things that's happened to me in my life, and why things went one way instead of going another way and that sort of thing. And I have noticed that in my own life, I have been good to other people at the exclusion of myself.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because I love helping people, and I love people. I'm a people person. I had a meetup.com because I just like meeting and talking to new people. I love people. But you're right. You can't help others unless you're in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to be in a good place, and then and I love helping others. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's good. That's a great comment, Brenda.
Yeah. I would let myself, push myself in the background and put myself out there for somebody else. And you have to be selective about the people that you're helping too, because a lot of times the people that you're helping really are not worthy.
Well, one technique you can do if someone asks you to do something is, and you want to do it and you're going to do it, but have them take on one small task. Say, oh yeah, I can help you. Can you do this one thing to kind of help in aid in what they're asking you to do, instead of you taking it all?
Right.
Just that one that can really change for the better. That one. Jim Dockrell says he's going to be more politically incorrect and be more antisocial. You're off to a good start. No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Jim. We love you, Jim.
Jim is my twin brother from another mother.
Handy Dandy Craft says, I cut out so much from my life and then I filled it up with YouTube.
Yeah. And I have noticed that as well. YouTube can be all consuming.
Bye, David.
Bye, David. Good to have you with us this evening. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year, and thank you for the super chat on BrendaG's designs. Appreciate that.
But
this year's the warm up, Jim said. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, you gotta be selective. You can't just jump out there and help everybody in the world.
Yeah.
I tend to have a pretty full pantry and larder at my house. And if somebody comes along that says that they need some help, they need some food, then I have always been tempted to help them out, as much as I possibly can. Not to the point where I'm doing without, because I've got to have food here and stuff for me. But if somebody comes along and they need some help and all that, I have found, though, that some people that are asking really don't need it. They're just seeing if they can get away with it.
Gotcha.
So, you got to be selective about the people that you help. You need to ask more questions before you just put it out there.
Well, my technique is never lend, always give. Like if someone needs something, I'll give them cash. I don't want it back, because then it gets the whole weird dynamic of them. They owe you, they know they owe you, and they try to avoid you. I'm like, I want the friendship. I'm like, oh, you need that much? Okay, here, you got it. I'll pay you back. I'm like, no, you won't.
Never give what you can't afford to lose.
Right. And that is a big plus, right?
Mhm.
What I just said. I mean, that makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
A lot easier.
Yeah, I've had people borrow from me, and I never expected to get it back. I figured, oh yeah, right. I'll not see this, but I didn't give what I couldn't afford to give at the time. And if I can't afford to give it, then you ain't getting it. I have to pay my bills too.
Exactly. Frankie CNC says, if you don't like the person, loan them money. See, that's the other thing. We had this one friend that was, she was a taker. Take, use. And it was getting annoying. And she owes my other friend $19. Never paid it back. And now she doesn't come anywhere near. And I said to my friend, I'm like, that was the best $19 you've ever spent. I was like,
Yep.
And Jim's asking me for $4 million. Things are a little tight around the holidays. I can't quite squeeze that amount. Sorry.
Well, you better get a Powerball, is all I can tell you.
Oh, Benny on a Mission says they're the same way. Yep. We give. Well, I give too. And then, sometimes you'll be really generous with someone who really does need it. And then they'll ask you a second time. And I'm like,
yeah,
you get one shot.
Yeah.
I can't solve all your problems. I can make it easier for you.
Yeah. And the internet is filled with people that want to beg for money constantly. Yeah. And that gets old,
But I found people are generous on the internet too. Well, if you run in communities with them, if you're in the message boards and the community groups and stuff like that, they'll they can be really giving. So we've got Miter Mike did some 3D printed these very specific knobs for me and other parts, and Paul's Messy Workshop, he printed me the double tetrahedron that I needed for a project. I mean, but you're right. It's
handy dandy
internet users can really run you ragged if you like.
Some people will leech you to death. Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen the people just begging constantly, just on folks. Just they see that they give to somebody else, and so then they're gonna write them and say, oh, you gave to them. Well, I need it for this, that, or the other thing, and you can give to me too, and just write them. And that's not right.
Jeff Robinson says, I will not give you money, but I will give you my time. That's the most generous right there.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. I jump on these Reddit threads, and it's like, what should you do if you become independently wealthy? Or what should you do if you win the lottery? And one of the best pieces of advice is take 20% of your winnings, tell the lawyer you want to divvy that up for X amount of family, like 10 family members. And then what you do is you put it in a trust, and then you earmark it to pay down their house or to pay for future education if it's a young person. And then that's it. And then when they say, oh, I need 20,000 to start my toothpaste business, you're like, well, you have the endowment, the endowment is what I've given you. You don't have to worry about your home now. Take the money you would have spent on the home, and then you pay down, you start up your toothpaste business or cracker business or whatever it is that the llama hair shaving business, whatever the crackpot idea they have in their head. And I'm like, that's a good idea, because you were generous, but then you've set the limit, and you're done. And then because God forbid, if you do give one family member something, then everyone else say, well, you gave Uncle Bob this. I want my comeuppance. You threw a bone to him. So I'm like, that's so smart. Like, imagine all the turmoil people had to go through to figure out that one technique.
I have another theory on that. What relatives?
What's that?
What relatives?
You're my step cousin twice removed.
Yeah, because I don't have any.
Jim Dockrell says, no soup for you.
I don't have any when I'm broke. I won't have any when I hit it rich. No. Yeah, but the Powerball is $200 million Saturday night.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying maybe you better think about getting your Powerball ticket.
That would be $80 million in your pocket when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't need money ever again if unless you went hog wild, pig crazy, and gave it all away or something. You'd never need money ever again for anything.
no, there's actually an answer of what to do if you win $100 million. Like, and everyone does it wrong. What you should do is hire a bodyguard. Seriously. And then what you do is you stroll into a big city and you go into to a money manager, like a lawyer firm, like investment type thing. And not Uncle Bob, your lawyer, or not the friend of the family lawyer. No, you people who are, and then you hook it up with them, and then they invent a trust, which is like another person, and then the trust cashes in the ticket.
Right.
So it's never connected to you. And then you then there's 10 more steps you do after that. But that's the big part people don't do. They and never have the lottery give you an annuity, like say, oh, I'll take it in 10 years worth of payments. Then you're just giving them a free loan. You want all the money.
That's right.
And then there's some things to do. That's what you should do. I'd be broke and give it all away, says Frankie. Well, I mean, hey, generous people out there. I got my cousin Vinny, says Gilroy, Odessa Woodworking and Baker Shop.
Well, I mean, there is something to say about benevolence, where you set up a benevolent fund to help less fortunate people, or, you set up some kind of a charity
Foundation,
something, where you're trying to help people.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, something like that.
I particularly like the ones where they're taking these abandoned shopping malls that are not doing anything except collecting rats and bats these days, and they turn them into homeless shelters.
Oh, wow.
Where there's like a barber shop in there, there's a medical center so that they can get treatment if there's something wrong. I like that. And there's housing, for those, and for veterans as well.
Awesome.
The fact that we have that many homeless people and homeless veterans in our society is disgraceful.
Really is. Jim says you could live high on the hog just with the interest from savings on 80 million. Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. And the last thing you do in that 10-step plan that I was sort of hinting at is then you take, 5 million and you buy your motorcycle, you buy your boat, things like that. But that's the last thing you do.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing.
Yeah. If you're doing okay with what you have now, I mean, I would say, okay, if you have an old beater that barely gets up and down the street, that you can't even get to the grocery in, maybe you want to take a little money and buy yourself a decent car to start out with. But if you're getting by fine with what you have now, no, you don't want to go out and buy a vehicle right off the bat.
The obscenely rich people, very simple cars, things like that, because they know. The obscenely rich people, they're the one using the coupon, and they're the one not making excessive stuff. Like they'll use a coupon and then they'll buy another jet for their fleet for their business. So they'll make a $200 million jet purchase to deliver packages for their business, and then they'll be using coupons and 18% tips. And I mean, you don't get that way. Given.
And Jim says, huge piece of land up north, small house, big shop, and a high fence.
Oh, so many people are like, give me, an 800 square foot workshop is, where they can make as much noise as you want around the clock. That's heaven to a lot of people in the maker community, the woodworking and maker community.
Well, whenever him saying that reminded me of when I would break up with somebody.
Gotta run. Bye, Shelly and Shane.
Bye, Shelly. Happy New Year. Tell Shane we said hey.
Happy New Year.
I yell it like, she can hear me from here. But him saying that about the high fence reminds me of, whenever I'd have a breakup with some fella, people say, oh, that's so sad. And I say, hey, listen, when old dog gets away, all you got to do is put out better food and build a higher fence.
I love it.
So Frankie says, I'm friends with some friends that are loaded, but you wouldn't know it unless you Googled them. They let you do that. Last time I tried to Google somebody, I needed bail money.
Oh my God. Jennifer Winterburn is here, says hey with the little hearts flying around the emoji and the wave symbol.
Jennifer,
hello, Jennifer.
Good to have you with us this evening. Check
Glad
out all
you're
these channels in here. We got some good ones in the house.
Yep.
Check them all out. If you like what you see, hit the like button and hit that red button, because red buttons is evil. We don't put up with no red buttons.
Yeah, the red subscribe needs to turn gray. That's what we like around here.
And then leave them a comment on a video. Watch some of their stuff. Yep. Shelly said that they heard me all the way over there.
She was still tuned in. She was just announcing she was going to leave. She doesn't post a comment and then jump.
Some people don't think that I'm loud enough. So we got this.
Yeah, that's an aid you definitely don't need, Brenda.
That's what I should have got out when I was trying to find you earlier. Wake up!
I laid down and I was just so sleepy.
Thank you. You're Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz laying down in the poppy field, for God's sakes. Get up!
Yep. You need to have it snow on me to wake me up.
I'm going to send them flying monkeys after you.
This one here. And this night, look at that round frame. Have you ever seen a completely circular frame? Not easy to do in the wood shop.
I've seen ovals.
What's that?
I've seen oval ones.
Okay, cool.
The old-fashioned frames used to be oval.
Yeah. Well, that's when they had craftsmen that knew what they were doing.
They were oval, and they had that fancy filigree type work all around the edges of the frames.
Yep. I like the simple frames, you know, put an edge treatment on them. That's all I need.
Jim Dockrell says that you got a set of red pumps. Is that true? Clicking your heels together?
They're red with white stripes, like the Wicked Witch of the West Sister that had the house dumped on her and then curled up the legs.
There's like no place like Mind Equals Blown. There's no place like Mind Equals Blown.
I need to go back to Kansas. Why am I here?
Yeah, Jeff Robinson says, are you running for president? Because your idea to save our malls in America would be a great campaign promise. Well, that idea is not original. There are places in the United States, and I can't tell you where, but I have read about it, where they are taking malls. They're putting education centers in. There's a lot of things that they're putting in those malls, because the malls are huge for the most part.
Yeah,
and they're vacant.
Big structures too, with all the infrastructure, the heating, the cooling. It's all there. Yeah.
But it takes money to run those kind of places. And government is not funding it. They're funding their big paychecks. That's the thing that really just rakes me. The first thing they always want to cut is Social Security. They want to cut the military.
No, the military never gets cut. They want
the paychecks. They want to cut their paychecks. They want to cut out anything for veterans, all this, but they never cut their paychecks. They vote themselves a raise.
You don't need to tell me. I know all about it.
That just irks me. I'm like, are you kidding me? The people that cannot afford to lose the money, the worst, are the ones that you want to hit.
And then, unsolicited phone calls are illegal unless it's a political call. Then that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Because they need to get reelected. Gilroy says his round ones are oval, presuming that, slips up that way. Hey, look at this. Frankie's giving away some stuff. He's giving away scorch markers and pocket hole kits, not the blue brand pocket hole, on his channel soon. We'll keep an eye on that, Frankie.
Okay,
CNC and Woodworking channel.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Good to know. I've been gathering up more stuff for giveaways, more stuff. I
Yeah.
ran around the other day and I filled up another box full. Plus, I got the magic hat over here that's still full of stuff from last week. And yeah, so for long, we'll have some more giveaways here on the channel. So be sure that you tune in and watch what we're doing over here, because you never know. I mean, I may just do it impromptu. I may not even announce it. I may just pull some stuff out of the hat.
That's why you got to tune in every time. Each and every time.
You never know what I'm liable to do over here. Matt never knows what I'm liable to do over here. And that is as it should be.
Sometimes I get scared. But I power through. Yes, supporting the military for the rest of their lives makes sense because they are willing to spend the rest of their lives supporting you, says Jim Dockrell. Agreed.
Yeah, it says veterans, not military, to be more precise. But yeah.
The first branches are going to some channel.
Batches.
Oh, batches. Yeah. Thought he meant branches, like branches of the military. We have a new branch of the military. Did you hear?
No.
Space Force. There's Air Force, Space Force, Marines, Army, and the Coast Guard. There's now Space Force, which really is the Air Force is controlling space right now. They have the Air Force Space Command, and what they're doing is they're just giving out new titles to everyone in that group, to making its own branch.
Are they in charge of probes?
Yes, probes fall under Space Force. And people are like, how do I sign up? How do I sign up? But there's not going to be any of that for years. It's going to be a slow process to build that up. But, we need a presence above the clouds, as well as in the air and in the sea and on the land. And
we need to take care of our problems here. Like the homeless and the veterans and, the situations that we have going here. And I know it's not new, but I see more of it now because of the internet and social media, but the animal cruelty. What in the hell is wrong with people?
Thankfully, there's getting less and less of that because we've had a good decade now where people, they're not putting up with that.
No.
And it's even to the point where you can do some horrible things to not animals. And that can almost slide, but God forbid you do something to, and which you should never be cruel to animals, but the hammer will fall. Like there will be.
Well, they're passing laws now against it, which, is long overdue, but oh my goodness gracious, the things that I see come across my news feeds, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these individuals?
There's a Netflix special on someone that was on YouTube who was cruel to animals. And there is someone in South America who did some despicable things. And what it does is he makes 27 different YouTube accounts, and YouTube tries to knock them all down, but they'll get 26 of the 27. And I'm like, my goodness, and people are not having it.
Jim Dockrell says, I thought there were international treaties preventing the militarization of space.
There are things like no government can claim sovereignty over a celestial body. Like you can't say, oh, Io, the moon of Jupiter. Yeah, that's mine now. You can't do that. You can't say I own the moon. No one can own the moon. But here's the thing. The way the treaty's written is no country can. So what some people have done is say like, I own that part of the moon. And what they're doing is they're going to Hilton and they're like, you need to give me $10,000 and you'll have land rights of that part of the moon when we start building hotels up there. And it's like a 1 in 10,000 gamble that's actually going to hold up in court, and they're giving the money. They're giving the money over. But no government can have sovereignty over any celestial body is the way we do it. Similar to Antarctica, there's treaties that no one can own because you're close to everything. You don't realize that there's land on the. Well, I know you realize it, but it's just if you're in Antarctica and you want to go somewhere in the southern hemisphere, you're right there.
Mhm.
It's the closest to everything. And so people were worried that people would launch missiles from Antarctica. So they're anyway, but
Well,
yeah.
actually, everybody owns the moon.
How do you say that?
Well, you have a moon and I have a moon. And
Well, Denny's, the restaurant, they own Moon over my hammy. Moon's over my hammy. Yeah.
so we can't make this stuff up. It just, it's as we go.
Al says his moon is cracked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn it in for another one. Hope you have warranty. Crack right down the middle.
I remember when I was little, little kids are great, the things that go through their mind. And I remember when I was little, I asked my mother, I said, why is my butt cracked? And she says, well, when you were born, it wasn't. But I've had to smack it so many times because you won't behave.
I love that humor. We used to go to the community pool. They had a community pool, and the one woman there loved the sun. She just soaked up the sun her whole life, and she must have been, I guess in hindsight, like 65, something like that. But with all the sun, she was super wrinkly. But she was young and energetic, but she looked 20 years older than what she really was. And little 3-year-olds would come up, why is your face all wrinkly, Fran? And she goes, without missing a beat, oh, I forgot to iron it this morning. like, that's the attitude I want to have when I'm an old curmudgeon.
Yeah, I had a great aunt that lived in Arizona all of her life. She moved out there when she was very young, and she'd always lived there. And she lived in Tonto Basin, Arizona, and a mobile home, and she lived there forever. Since Hector was a pup, she'd lived in that mobile home out in the desert, up in the side of a mountain. And she went deer hunting, and she'd always send pictures, these deers that she got, but she looked like she's 150. That desert heat.
Oh, I bet it just
ate
ripped
her
right
up.
through you.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was as brown as an Indian. She'd been in some sun.
Handy Dandy Crafts has hashtag more cowbell. We like cowbells around here.
Jim Dockrell says skin like tanned leather. Exactly. That's what it was like. Aunt Brown. That was her name, Brownie.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we got the New Year's thing coming up next week. Have you got big plans other than just, you're going to cook? And
yeah, I'm not a big New Year's anymore. That sort of has fallen out as I get older. Every now and then I'll end up going to a friend's house, but I keep it kind of loose. And most times it's just, something spent at the house here. And it was kind of good for a while because my wife could switch out shifts at the hospital with the young kids who want New Year's. Like New Year's is important to like a 25-year-old. And she would get Christmas off because they would give up their Christmas because you have to work either Christmas or New Year's in that work environment at the hospital. But now a lot of the young kids have kids of their own, and they're like, no, they want Christmas. So now everyone's bogarting the Christmas. But
yeah, the last time I went to a New Year's party, I was probably 28, 29, I think. And early on in the evening, somebody spilled a drink on me. So the rest of the evening, I was miserable.
Oh no!
My brand new outfit that I bought for New Year's Eve was ruined.
Man.
And so I have not gone to a New Year's Eve party since.
Oh wow, that one event. That's a shame.
That broke me of the habit. I thought, Lord, you can't. I'd have a better time at home, even by myself, where ain't nobody spilling anything on me. If I get spilled on, it's my own fault.
Exactly.
And I can change into some dry clothes and still have a decent evening, But yeah, more than 30 years ago.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
No, sometimes we would get packages where we go into the city and you rent a room, and then they'll have like buffet that evening, and then you go out into the street and they'll drop the ball on top of the building, and then you go back in and you party, and then you go up to your room and you go to bed. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've done that a few times. Like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, we've never had anything like that. It was usually, just going to a party someplace, usually like an arena or a convention center or something, great big party. Or maybe there were, I remember a couple of them that we went to was at nightclubs. And, they'd have music, maybe have a band or something going where there was dancing, and they'd serve a meal. You buy tickets ahead of time because they're going to serve a meal.
Mhm.
And, you buy your drinks that evening and dance and have a good time and, midnight festivities. And then
And
by
if
2
the
a.m. they're
nightclub
clearing
has
it
a
out.
hotel attached to it, then you just crash in the hotel. Like that's part of it.
Yeah, the ones that we went to was never like that. It was just, kind of out nowhere. I remember this one that we went to was a lot of fun. They had a glass dance floor, and underneath the dance floor was an electric train.
What?
It was a great big huge dance floor, and they had all these trains running on train tracks underneath the dance floor, and it was really thick glass. And of course,
Yeah.
people dancing on it. It had to hold a lot of weight.
Uh-huh.
Real thick glass on this dance floor, but while you're dancing, you could watch all these trains rolling around underneath the dance floor.
Wow,
That
that's
was a cool place.
crazy. Frankie says, I had one friend who rented the whole level of the Hilton Garden Inn one year. That must have been expensive.
Oh.
With cameras pointing up on the train. No, Jim. They didn't have GoPros on them back then. Crazy. Now, if you go to Vegas and you get on the rooftop, all the hotels fire off fireworks at the same time. So you can be like up on the Strip hotel up on the roof, just boom, 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 all different directions. That would be fun to see, I think.
Well, I have some friends that are camping out in Arizona over the holidays, and they're going to continue it, I think, until sometime in February before they quit. And they're talking about this next week. They'll be going maybe to some casinos, but I don't think they were planning to go to Vegas. They talked about maybe someplace California or something, and going, but I was thinking about that very thing today. I thought, I wonder, there's got to be some RV parks and stuff around Las Vegas, and seems to me that would be the place you'd want to go if you're out, in the western part of the United States, just traveling around over the holidays. You'd want to go to Vegas, especially New Year.
Yeah. Now you got to get there a day early, and you got to leave late. I mean, the whole town just gets locked up. There's like, you're there. You need to be there for a couple days because you're not getting out. Everyone tries to get out the day after, and it's impossible.
Well, if they're in RV parks and stuff, I would think that, that would probably be not in the city
That's
proper.
the way you want to play it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But I would think with that being party town that.
No, there's a woodworker that lives in Las Vegas. Now, not in the city, but like on the outskirts of it. But his address is Las Vegas, like on his, if you mail him a sticker.
Yeah.
But those things are nuts where you'll have 10 people move in and you'll have 9 people move out because people can't make it there. It's a hard thing to make it in that town. You have to be in the hospitality business to really stay afloat and then not gamble because you'll go destitute.
Yeah.
So they keep seeing it's expanding, but they don't realize, 9 people are moving in and 10 people, or it's still going up, but there's a lot of in and out of people renting homes and buying homes out there. It's crazy.
And Jim Dockrell says he's never been to a casino and has no desire to. I haven't been to one since I was in Las Vegas, and that was back in 1979 or 80. But if you're going to go to a casino and you're planning on doing any gambling, set aside a set amount of money, whether it's $20, $100, whatever you can afford, that is going to be your gamble money. Not your eating on money, not your staying in the hotel money, not your drinking money, that this is the money that I'm going to spend in the casino on gambling.
Yeah.
And then when you lose it, it's gone.
That's
You
the way to
quit.
play it. That's the way to play it. And don't go there with $100. Like, you're not going to spend you got to have several $100.
Right.
Like 20 bets. Like, when you sit down at the blackjack table, whatever the minimum is, times that by 20, and that's what you should have. So if you're at a $5 table, you should have $200.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have 20 bets, then you can't weather the storm of several losses in a row versus
And you can have fun on the cheap slots.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in there thinking that, I got to spend big bucks here. Go in on the cheap slots just to have a little bit of fun, and that's it. You've had your fun. And then, if you want to go see a show, they got all kinds of shows in Las Vegas. They've got all kinds of shops in Las Vegas. If you like to shop, doesn't mean you have to spend money. You can go shop.
If you like to drink for free, here's the power tip. Go to the, what's the game where you try and pick 10 numbers? Keno bar. Go to the Keno bar. It's always empty. You could play Keno anywhere in the hotel. It doesn't have to be, but they have a little section set aside for some reason for Keno, and the wait staff are always there, and the drinks are free. So you can, like, a $2 Keno game every 6 minutes. You could just drink yourself stupid.
Yeah, I remember when I was there, they had Keno while you had breakfast.
Oh yeah. No, and here's the thing. Keno is connected to all the casinos. It's the same game. It's not every casino running their own Keno. And it's all over the world, not just in Las Vegas. And it's been running for 25 years. Do you know how many people? And it's every 6 minutes. Every 6 minutes for 25 years on every casino all around the globe. Guess how many people hit all the numbers? 6 minutes a day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for 20 years.
I wouldn't have that.
Zero people hit it. The only time it was hit is when someone from the gambling board, who's in charge of the algorithm of the machine, cheated it. He cheated and he got caught because the driver's license he showed to get his gambling card was different than the driver's license he showed to cash it in. And he knew something was up, and then they busted him. But aside from that one time when someone cheated the system because he knew what numbers were going to come up because he programmed it that way in the computer program, no one. It's so statistically impossible. For 20 years, it was never, ever hit. Because they give you like 100 numbers and you got to pick 15 of them to come out. It's so impossible. Keno is basically just something you play to get free drinks, as far as I'm concerned.
Handy Dandy Craft says casinos have good food. Who needs to gamble?
Yeah. Well, when and if you do win, they want you to be able to spend it on high cost items like steak and lobster dinners and things like that. Yeah.
Frankie said, talking about that Hilton, he says it wasn't too bad really when they rented the floor of the place. I think it was $150 a room. They got a price drop when they got them all.
Got it.
Yeah, I know. Not as fancy as Hilton, obviously, but when there's specialty dog shows, because I used to show bulldogs, and when they'd have specialty shows, they would approach a hotel and say, okay, we're going to have a specialty dog show, and we're wondering if we can get a break on rooms. How many rooms will we need to book in order to get a break? And, obviously people will have their dogs with them. It'd have to be a hotel that's dog friendly and that sort of thing. And a lot of times, if it's a specialty dog show, it wouldn't be anything to have 50 rooms rented. So, we get price breaks on nice rooms that way in a really nice hotel rather than having to go to a Motel 6 or
Right,
something like
right.
that.
That's the way to play it. We do that with the woodworking shows too. We'll get a block of 30 rooms or something like that and get them on the cheap. Well, cheaper. Rooms are always expensive no matter what. But
Jim Docker wants to know if Wayne Newton is still in Vegas.
I saw that earlier. Yeah. No, it's things like Carrot Top and a lot of the magicians and Cirque du Soleil. A couple of those now. There's the Beatles one. There's Mystere and O, and a few more that are out there. Those are freaky shows.
I saw Willie Nelson when I was out there.
And Blue Man Group. I saw Blue Man Group in the Venetian when it was in the Venetian. Not in the Venetian anymore. I think it's in the Mirage.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get a room in the Bellagio facing the fountain. Those rooms are expensive. And that fountain is no joke. You think, how spectacular could a water fountain be? It's amazing.
I don't even think they had that water fountain when I was out there.
No, it's,
I mean, that's
10 years ago. So.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago that I was out there. And I don't remember the name of the casino where we stayed, but the room was beautiful. I was really impressed with the room.
There's a button. There's a lounge, and there's the high end rooms you get. But one of the rooms has a red button. That's like a whole circular couch with a little table with a red button on it. And every time you push that red button, it's $10,000, and it shoots off the fountains at an unspecified time. And if you want to. If you don't want to wait, I think it's like every 25 minutes that the fountain goes off. But if you want the fountains to go off in between, you can push that button and it's $10,000 and you'll start the show.
That would be some lottery winners blowing some money, wouldn't it?
Oh,
wow.
Kilroy says we stayed at the Luxor Sweet Pyramid Hotel. We got married in Vegas and our suite was at the Luxor.
Did you have a Elvis impersonator marry you off out there?
The wedding chapel where we got married did have that service, but no, we had a minister. And no, it was not a shotgun wedding. We flew 17 friends and family out to Vegas. So it was a real wedding. I've been married for over 21 years. The same. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Vegas. We got married in the same place that married Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, basketball player, got married in the same chapel as where I got married. My niece got married in Vegas by an Elvis. There we go. Yeah. I got to see there was a casino that's not there anymore, but it was on the Strip. It was next to Flamingo. It was Bill's Gambling Hall, which is a weird name for a casino. And it was something else before that, Barbary Coast, I think. It had a 400-pound Elvis. And it was a free show. Now, you had to buy 2 drinks. It was a 2-drink minimum. But you got a free show in a strip hotel smack in the middle of Vegas. And it was a 400-pound Elvis. He was good. He was good. That was fun. I don't have him anymore.
Yeah, he probably had a heart attack or stroke.
He did. I mean, he was a big boy. Big boy. But he could sing, man. Let me tell you. I love Vegas. Vegas is such a cool town, and I love Fremont Street, the old Vegas. They covered it, the whole street. You can't drive on it, and the dome or the covering, the ceiling of it. It's all lit up. It's like the biggest computer monitor you've ever seen going the whole way down the street, and it fires every 30 minutes. It's amazing. And we did the zip line. You can zip line down all of old Vegas. They have one that's half of it, and they have one that's all of it. We did all of it. Got on there, zip line the whole way down Vegas. You see the girls out there with the feathers, and everyone's dressed up because they want you to take their picture with Buzz Lightyear or Kiss or whatever celebrity that they have. And you're you're 35 feet in the air over top of them. It's an interesting thing. That was fun.
Yeah, if you want to do something unusual, Vegas would be the place to do it. They have all kinds of wild stuff out
Do
there.
anything you want there. You can fire weapons. You can jump. You can do what do you call bungee jumping? You can do parachuting. You can anything you want.
And we were only there for like 24 hours, so I didn't get a real big view of Las Vegas, but I saw a lot of it. And we packed a lot into the time that we had there.
That's the way to do it.
We had the room, and I was really impressed with the room, but I don't think we got 3 hours sleep.
The way to do Vegas is you should be so exhausted when you're on the plane home, you should just pass out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how to do Vegas.
Yeah.
You don't go there to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, it was a business trip thing that we were on, and we drove to Houston in this checker limo station wagon that was, I thought at the time, oh, that's really going to be great. And it was in July. And when he picks me up in this thing for us to go to Houston, this thing is a piece of garbage.
Oh, no.
And the air conditioner didn't work. And we're going to Houston, Texas in July in a car with no air conditioning. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of stories that go along with that mess. But we get the car delivered to Houston, and then he gets the wild idea that he wants to go to Vegas. So we hop a plane and we go over to Vegas. We're there for 24 hours. And then we hop a plane and we go to Denver and drive across the mountains over to Grand Junction, which is a big place now. But then it was just a little bitty crossroad. There was only maybe 2 or 3 businesses there. It was a dirt street. And this is before it was developed, but he was a developer, and they was putting in all the housing for the Exxon business because putting in the gas lines and stuff out there. So we go and we're checking all that out, and then we hop a puddle jumper plane back to Denver and get on a plane and go to Atlanta and then connect in Dayton, Ohio. So we were back home. But
sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, we left on a Friday and we got back, or no, it was Thursday night, I think, that we left, and we got back on Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a whirlwind trip.
We have some Vegas comments here in the chat. Jim Dockrell says, my sense of self-preservation has come over my desire for excitement, like bungee jumping or skydiving. And Handy Dandy Craft says, I am a mess to stay in Las Vegas is overrated. Yeah. Yeah. It's not for everyone. Not for everyone. And I do like to gamble. I
think it's worth seeing once,
Yeah. And there's a lot to do besides gambling there, but you really should. We really should gamble.
Put a token in the slot, You never know. You might hit. Maybe.
With slots though, it's like $100 in, you get $80 back. Like that's kind of how they rate them. And those odds just with blackjack, the odds are still in the house's favor, but less so.
In my short time there, I made $1,800.
Okay.
Mostly playing craps. A little bit with blackjack, but mostly craps.
Now, craps is something you can get buckets of cash or you can lose buckets of cash. It's usually no in between.
I just played the outside. I wasn't playing all that stuff goes on in the middle of the table.
The don't come line. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really understand all that stuff, but I understood the outside part of it. And rolling the dice. And I was hot. Beginner's luck, buddy. I had those dice hot. There's a lot of people won some money with me rolling that night.
My uncle had someone buy him breakfast in the next morning, and he says, "I'm ready to pay." He says, "No, it's already paid for." That gentleman over there in a cowboy hat paid. He was at the craps table the night before when my uncle was on the dice, and the rich cowboy was spending 10 times as much as my uncle. He said he made thousands of dollars off my uncle. So the least he could do is buy him breakfast the day before. But he didn't know. Like he didn't know he was there. He was just ready to go pay his bill. It was already paid.
Yeah. Yeah, and I brought that $1,800 back and paid off my car.
Good on you. You're doing it right.
Of course, shortly after that, I totaled the car, but that's another story.
Wow. My.
It comes, it goes. Story of my life.
Believe me, I know.
Well, listen, we've been on here a couple hours, or at least I have.
Been on 15 minutes longer than me.
So I think we'll say good night to everybody, and we'll wish them all a happy new year. I'm not sure if Russ is having a show Saturday night or not yet,
Okay.
but stay tuned. Simply Wooden Creations. If he does, we'll be on the panel, or at least I will.
Oh, new person just jumped on. Saucy, the towboat chef, is here.
Hey, Saucy, good to see you.
Says hiya, Brenda and Matt and everyone. Just popping in here real quick because I got to get up at 2:30 a.m. for work. Wow.
Well, thanks for dropping in. We appreciate it. And Strong's Adventures just come in the house too.
Oh, nice.
Good to have you with us.
There you are, Strongs. I see you now. Yeah.
That's probably Billy. It's either Billy or Rhonda.
Okay.
But I bet it's Billy. He likes the prison van. He calls my van the prison van. It's a cougar wagon.
No windows. Free candy. Put that on the side.
But yeah, we're glad to have everybody with us. And if Russ has a show Saturday night, we'll try to be there on the panel. I know I will be. I'm always there. I'm a fixture.
I stream Mondays at 7 on my All Things YouTube channel. So just look up All Things YouTube on the YouTubes and tune in 7 p.m. Eastern. That'll be fun.
And then we'll be back here next Thursday night. I will be. Matt will probably be sleeping.
Oh, I'm sure everyone can relate.
I'm going to have somebody standing by if he's sleeping with a pan of warm water.
Stay on after the show. I'll give you the direct phone number so you don't get caught in that phone loop.
So y'all have a good week and celebrate. Have a good time and be safe. Above all things, be safe. And we'll see you back here next Thursday.
Yep. Happy New Year.
Night, y'all.